Hi, welcome to another program. This week we are going to talk about what happened in Turkey recently, last week on 27th of February evening time in southern Syria. That resulted with 33 Turkish soldiers were killed in action, where also 32 Turkish soldiers were wounded. We are not going to talk about how it happened, why it happened, who was right or wrong, and all these precautions taken, because as I am in Turk, I am in really in very bad mood about this. But I feel I am compelled to talk about what it has shown, what is the lackness of the presidential administration, which has been now in action since 2018. In Turkey. This new type of administration has been accepted by Turkey in June or July, I can't remember now, but 2018. Now we have a presidential administration. But how it should react under this new incident, and how it reacted, what it shows as a lackness to Turkish administration or even democracy at this moment. We want to talk about this under these new developments. So let's talk about. Now on 27th of February at evening time, there was an assault attack on Turkish troops in Turkey, in northern Syria, and 33 Turkish soldiers were killed, and 32 also were wounded. As we said, we are not going to talk about how it happened, who was right, wrong, who did this. Even some sources say it's a Syrian aircraft fighter, airjet, but some say it's Russian even. But we don't want to talk about this. We want to talk about how the government reacted this, what it showed as a lackness in Turkish democracy. As you know, Turkey now was under the parliamentary system, but has now switched to a presidential system. This new presidential system shows some lackness in this new development. Under this development, we want to talk about this. According to the presidential system, the president has been given the right to defend the national interests as far as it goes with the security, and he or she has the right to take any and every precautions to set so. And even it is within our borders or outside the Turkish borders, the president has to do so. But does it mean that the president have the limitless power to do so? Let's look at the American system. If an American president wants to deploy a military troop to a foreign land, he or she has to give a report to Congress within 48 hours after he or she has taken the necessary decision. Of course, the parliament has given the Turkish government to deploy the military operations outside the Turkey, in Iraq and also in Syria. That's not what we are going to talk about. What we are going to talk about is the unwillingness of the Turkish government to inform the Turkish parliament about the incident that had happened in northern Syria. There is an unwillingness of the government to inform the Turkish parliament. If this happened in any developed country, such as United States, United Kingdom, or any European country, the president and or the prime minister should and have to inform the parliament or the Congress, let's say, for the United States, within certain time, which has been set within the regulations or laws or in the Constitution. But this has not followed by Turkish government. Turkish government, the president of the parliament in action has stated that they intend to do so maybe on Tuesday. And once it has been asked why on Tuesday, they said, or he said, we are going to get all the information what the government is or has taken as a precaution, and once the picture is more clear, we are going to tell it to Parliament. That's extremely wrong, extremely careless approach to to presidential system. The presidential system has given all or most of the rights to a president, which he or she is going to take every measurement to make to feel the nation as a secure nation and to protect the land from any kind of rivals and or enemy. That's granted. But how you implement this, you can't do, or you can't just be silent whenever something bad or good happened. At this moment, there is no accountable party in Turkey who we shall ask the questions how it happened, why it happened, because we can only access to the information on the social media. Our government representatives neglect to give sufficient information or to share sufficient information with the public at this moment because they avoid informing the parliament. What has happened only is that the parliament, the opposition party leaders have called and they have been informed by the president about the incident, but they have not been asked to submit in a very urgent, I will say, meeting, and have not been asked with their ideas how we should approach this, because this is a national security threat to our nation, to our sovereignty, to our land, to our independence. That's why the government, whatever they have done up to now, seem to be neglecting the parliament, and they only want the public to follow whatever they intend to do or whatever they intend to say. And they want the public to accept them as it is. I have to say that the power separations between the executive part of any country, and like in Turkey, the executive part, which means the president and the administration underneath, and the Congress or the parliament, which is the legislation party, we call it also, should work under these circumstances together in order to define what is necessary measurement to be taken in this situation. Unless it has been done, any decision or precautions taken by the government without informing the parliament and the public in a necessary way would be seen as an authoritarian way or approach by any foreign countries. That is a great security risk to Turkey, not in terms of only foreign military or a rivalry or an enemy approach, but also economically, because Turkey needs and depends on the cash flow or investments from the foreign state, and these kind of actions emphasize that there is no parliament working properly in the country, that the investors also in future would or should be welcome to invest in Turkey, where their rights are granted by independent legislations, by a free, fair legislations or laws. It doesn't grant this, or it doesn't make the investor feel secure about it. It only says that the president and his administration or the security council might do whatever it needs to do in order to protect the country, and regardless what your Congress or your parliament considers, they have to follow whatever you are telling. This is wrong. It is a great security and national threat to us. Whatever the administration or however the administration have approached to this is from the first day up until today was wrong. It shouldn't, the parliament, I am again emphasizing, the parliament is neglected. The parliament is put aside. The public is not informed properly. The public is reading and accessing any information more than the government is telling. And it seems that we are not democratically ruled or administered country. It doesn't only create a security threat in terms of, I will say, military operations or any terrorist operations, but economically also, it creates a great threat to Turkey, since we need foreign investors to come and invest in Turkey so that the economy can recover and go up. Unless the government has taken necessary actions in order to justify their actions with joint venture of the parliament members, whatever they are saying is going to be seen as an authoritarian regime. It's like an iron fist regime that we had seen in Soviet era, or like in other countries that's not like North Korea, let's say. This cannot be let. It should be avoided. This is a great danger for Turkey. Unless it should be avoided, the only modification or rectification it should be done, the parliament, the Turkish parliament, should set up a frame by the lawmakers to make sure that any incident that threats Turkey directly in terms of terrorist, military, and or economically the national interest, the government should take any action. If it is, a direct threat, a military operation, like in a second, you have to really, just respond it. But within certain time, which is not 5 days, which is not 6 days or week time, 2 days max, or 1 day, or 2 days maximum. The executive part of Turkey, which is president and the administration team, including the national security organs, should inform the parliament. So not 5 people or 10 people can decide the future of the country, but as together all, a parliament which reflects the intention of the public, including the executive part of the country, will come together and jointly they can decide what is best for the country. Unless this is done, we will be seen as always an authoritarian regime by the foreign countries. If you like this video, there is a like button underneath. Please press on it, and if you subscribe to our channel, you will be also shared with the first videos that we are going to publish soon. So thank you for watching the video, and see you next time. Bye.